Hello there, everyone. This is Neko Knight here, getting ready to play The Infected. And today, we're going to be doing a bit more building. I went ahead and finished up that, and in the last episode, if you didn't see, this does generate noise, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish it didn't, so depending on how things go, I may end up building a floating protection place for this, because this is to me the most important item, because it will fuel just about all your extractors, and your extractors are what get you resources, and it helps minimize the time you have to run back and forth. Another is, oh, and I forgot that you can rename this. You just got to come in here to where this is, and then you can go and rename it. I thought you could rename it over here, but nope. So you have to come into the junction. I'll probably do a video on wiring and all that, but quick and down dirty is you need the control panel, then you need to connect the control panel to the junction box, and then the junction box to the items you planned to hook up. So if I hook up this, a stone grinder, a cement mixer, all that fun stuff, I have to have this. You can wire it backwards, and which can cause some confusion and may cause some issues. So if you ever have that issue where you can't figure out why the wiring is doing what it's doing, look at the flow. If you see the flow from like this going up to this, that means it's wrong. If you see this going out to that, you're correct. Or that down to that, like this, you're correct. So make sure to watch the flow of these stripes moving. Not everybody knows about the stripes, and that they indicate the flow of where electricity is going. Alright, we're back. I had to fix something real quick. Alright, so now that we've got all of this, like I said, we're going to be doing a bit more building. Yes, most of you probably scattered because, oh no, there's no tips or tricks or helpful hints. And actually, you were wrong, because I showed one with the electricity there. So, depending on how oops, I got to make sure that I'm not going to be freezing, because it is cold, and to me, I freeze to death at this temperature. And what is my... some things I would appreciate is body temperature. When I hit F, it pops up for me, or it's constantly there. Another thing that I would appreciate... Oh. Yeah, okay, I shouldn't be freezing, but in real life, I'd be absolutely freezing as hell. Another thing that I would appreciate is, I said it before and we'll say it again, dynamic building. I would love that, because then the developer wouldn't have to worry too much about making constant building pieces. They can simply make a program and adjustments to the program. Like, let's say I place a log here, and then I want to angle it off to this way, then angle it off to that way, then that way, and that way. And next thing you know, I've got an arch. And then I can put a straight line across, put some planks that stretch from here to here or whatever, and they fit within tolerance or whatever, and they stretch out and all that, and bam, you've got an arch that fits. You're able to build that, and then you can also do dynamic steps, which means I can have steps that go from here to here, or from there all the way over to here and make it a ramp. So I could have a ramp all the way up to there. Or the developer could allow us to put half the materials in other words, we can place all the logs in, because a lot of these structure places I can't fill up because I am within the box of another one, like this. As you can see here, I can't add materials to, let's say, this one. I could be right here and try and add materials, but it won't let me because it's registering this one that I'm in. If we had a ladder that held us, or steps ladder that had us above these so we can place this and we can move it around wherever the hell we want, that would be great. And you might be thinking, why? It's so that when I do builds, I can show you the process and talk to you as I do it. And at some point, we're going to have to work on towards getting defenses. Like I said, at some point, I'm going to try that box defense that I did once before, but on a much, much grander scale. Okay. In other words, we're going to do it on a much bigger scale rather than the tiny scale that I did it on. Most of this is just requiring planks. That's kind of why I want the step stool, so I could do stuff like this. Or give us dynamic building. Dynamic building means I can actually put all of those as close to the ground as I want and have my steps come up off that at any angle I want. So maybe I want this to come up right there, or maybe right there, or right there, or maybe right here, or maybe right here, or maybe up here. Who knows? I don't want it exactly like Sons of the Forest because theirs still has very, very limiting abilities, which mean like we can't build proper circles or arches, or well, we can build arches, but I mean horizontal arches. Like actually, vertical is that. Yes, horizontal arches. We can't build very well horizontal arches. Not without spending a lot of materials on it. And oops. Wait, what the hell am I full? Oh. We're gonna get this all set up. This is where I think I'm gonna throw down my blacksmithing and maybe my oil near here. So like I'll have my oil and crafting and chemistry over here, or my blacksmithing over here. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'll have to get this all built and ready to go before I can actually truly decide that. And planks go quick. That's the one thing that sucks about planks. I may have to actually build double saws and get this all ready to go. And I will tell you, I do use God mode, but only when I need to replace things that get destroyed. That's usually the only time I use it because I personally don't think our objects here should get destroyed 100%. I think they should get maybe, or I think maybe they should be brought down to a durability of 0, but not destroyed. Oh yeah, this is my thing here. I'll get this built later. First, we need to keep that fed and going. And we're going to try and fill in as many of this area as possible. Which means we're going to need a lot of logs. But the the game is still developing. They did ask for other building possibilities. And and I think dynamic building would be one hell of a boost to this game. It would definitely change a lot about the game. And I think it would be amazing. Some other things that would be nice to be changed is or adding in some things. I mentioned it in my previous a long time ago, uh, a power meter, because I was like annoyed watching other YouTubers complaining about the Switch not being useless as hell. So I was thinking, uh, what you do is you make it where you force the people where if they try to come in here, they can't turn this off. All this does is function as a thingy here that tells you your power available, and all this. But I also made a suggestion for having a wheel here so people can be like, oh, we're plus so and so power. Oh, we're minus so and so power. And then have under it capacity. So you're at like something of something capacity, like 5,000 out of 10,000. And you could easily make it where it's 10K, 11K, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, so on, K up to like, and then you can put it to mil. But that was the idea. One of the ideas I had. One, to remove this so you could not turn the junction box off here. Or two, you could remove all of this information so they can only see this. So they either open it up and can only turn it off and on. They don't see any of this information. Or they make it where you could see all this information and you could not turn off anything. Meaning you needed the switch. But with the new setup with the power meters and the power this and the power that, and or not the meters, but the noise meter and all that fun stuff, some of that has changed. All right, we're gonna continue to try and build. I'm just gonna show you the process like I normally do, or at least some of it. Then we'll go to eventually I'll have everything filled in by the next episode, because you'll know at least what it looks like, what my thought process is, what I'm thinking. And if I do make any major changes, I'll make sure to show you guys along the way. That way you're not left out of the loop. But you don't have to sit here and watch me running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth 8 bazillion times, or repeat myself 8 bazillion times. And I will say I am really good at repeating myself. Oh, and like I said, I got 5 wind turbines now. Since I'm assuming the minimum power that you can generate is... Oh, is that going to be a blizzard? I'm assuming the minimum generation power for whatever you call it, the wind turbines, is 10. You can double up the wind turbines from what you used to be able to still power everything, because wind turbines used to power 20 power consistently all the time, every time. But if you consider the people who don't like wasting power and they want to make sure to capture it all, they're going to have to build a bunch of batteries in order to cope with that increased power. Because 40, let's say 40, you used to only need, let's say 5 to power a fridge. Now you need 10. And let's say that's maximum 40. That is 400 power generation. And that is a lot of wasted power if you're not having everything on or capturing that power. So you gotta be careful with that. Like, if you don't properly manage your power capturing, even though, yes, you can put a billion wind turbines, and technically once you get to a certain point, having a billion wind turbines isn't going to affect you at all whether you're getting the power or not. Like, if you're guaranteed to get that power, you don't have to worry about batteries. But that's going to be a little bit unless you manage to focus everything. But there's the noise generation and stuff, which, speaking of, I need to turn that on because I don't know when. Also, it would be nice if this was auto on so that way we can come and turn it off. But that's just me being lazy and not wanting to have to come back here. Another thing I was thinking about that I think just slipped my mind besides all this. Dang it. I just thinking about it too. Oh well, I get uh yeah, I guess I'll try and oh, holy mother of flip nuggets. Talk about a super log. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Oh, oh, another thing. Don't leave this down on the ground in here. Like if you go in here and let go of it, don't. The reason why? Because of these things here, it prevents you from gathering this. In other words, you cannot grab it, and therefore you have to delete these ghost images, which can become very, very, very annoying. All right, we're gonna get more of this crud. What? Trying to figure out what else I'm trying to think of as I go along, because like I said, this is going to be a couple building episodes, which means uh basically a lot of repeating. Or if I had another thing is crouching. I don't know if for you guys, but for me it's currently bugged here. See that pause in the game? That's me crouching. Like, look at this. Everything is frozen. I don't know what the hell is wrong with crouching. I don't know. I know it has no use other than maybe hunting animals, but yeah, I highly, highly recommend don't hit crouching, because now to uncrouch and be able to move around, I have to hit C again. So we're getting another game freeze for like 5 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with this, why crouch is like this, or why it's doing this, but it's annoying as hell. So there is some optimizations and or other issues that need to be fixed. They're not, well, whoop, what the hell? They're not super important, but they're definitely annoying if you're new to this game, and let's say you have no clue what to do or how to do it, and all of a sudden you press the crouch button thinking it's useful, and all of a sudden the game freezes on you. You're going to be like, what the hell? And then you're going to end up complaining about the game, and then all of a sudden everything looks bad. We're going to finish the outline here, and then we're going to get it. All right, back to this. Yes, got distracted. All right, we're going to need to fill this all up, all that fun stuff. Eventually, I'll have all this filled in. Like I said, I'll realistically, if I had enough of those logs, or if we could have a setup where we can walk on top of these, that would be really, really great. Yes, I know people could abuse it and use it against the Vambies, or actually, I don't think they're called Vambies anymore. They used to be, but not anymore. Some other interesting little bugs is if you don't load out of the when I have no shadow. Anyways, if you don't load out of the game and load back into the game, winter will the ice won't freeze. Although that could just be me or my game, but I've noticed it for a while now. So you gotta be careful with that part too. All right, we're gonna get this all set up. Oh, some other things that would be nice is if the game designates object breaking and building breaking as two different things. What I mean by that is if you look at the settings to the game, it will tell you physical attack, building attack. There should be physical, building, object as settings. That way we can turn off object breaking as part of the game, because that's one thing I would automatically do is I would turn objects breaking off right off the bat. Oh, I remember what it was. Are you the hell? You should be eating, dude. There should be plenty of food for you. I remember what I was thinking earlier. The 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 noise and light value thing. Another idea that they could do if they're trying to make it where people have base attacks and all that. Like the reason why they have the land claim and all this is to try and force you into uh, building and protecting your base. What they could do is have the like previous generations where you could freedomly build anywhere you want. And the people who, and what you can do is make it where you can only place one land claim pole. What the land claim pole does is reduce the enemy threat. So you have a noise value and a light value that generates uh, all over the place, worldwide. So wherever the hell you are, if you've got objects running, those values generate noise and light, and the enemies come and attack you. Now, if you're outside your land claim pole, and let's say you're trying to you're building a horde base, a base that's designed to withstand enemy attacks and basically just be there to screw around. In other words, you place like two spikes here, two spikes here, two spikes here, place some barbed wire, some fences, upgrade, place a little hut, all that fun stuff. You can what you do is if you build it outside of your land claim, the enemies are 10 times harder. And what I mean by that is, let's say normally for this land claim we get an attack of enemies and we get one boss or mini boss. I'm assuming there's going to be a big boss if those guys are still called mini bosses. But anyways, if we get one mini boss and four little guys, well, if we build outside the land claim pole a whatever you call it, a horde base, then what we get is five mini bosses and 15 whatever you call it, 15 regular guys, and that way, oh, and then you make it where the AI focus starts off scattered around you. So if you build a small little space around you, you'll have like one, two, three, four, five bosses around you. As soon as the first gate weakens and or gets weaker than the rest, all the enemies will focus onto that weak spot, and then once they break it, come in after you and just wail on you. That will prevent people from building horde bases or force them to really, really defend themselves. So they have to make a choice. Get a simple, small, weak attack at their land claim poles and risk getting their objects damaged to being unusable, but not destroyed, and having to set up a defense around their entire structure. The hell? Anyways, I got distracted. Oops. Uh, it would force them to put a defense around their entire structure, meaning they can't just simply uh, leave spots open because they'll simply go and attack everything and make everything unfunctionable. And that means you'll have to go through and repair everything for like 1/4 the cost. Oh, and I accidentally put my mini shroom in a box and I lost, or not mini shroom, but my infinity shroom into a box and I lost it. I'm a little sad. But I mean, technically, it was a cheat, like a major cheat. because it was infinite food. And I think I have an idea on how to make it work infinitely again. But that would require me to craft something that requires mushrooms in order to achieve that. All right, let's continue with this. Mike's filling up that. That means the pumpkin box is full, which is great, but at the same time not, because that means I got to go and take care of the animals because I don't want them to die. Especially since I'm slowly getting everything transferred over to females. That's my biggest issue is capturing certain animals is a pain in the butt. Actually, let's just go check that out. As you can see, as the build comes along, it's starting to look amazing. Like, I mean, this is a neat little setup here. This is a nice little setup right there. That still needs a lot of work. And personally, I really, really hope the developer moves to whatever you call it. We're an hour and something, 2 hours, 4, 2, 3, 240, 250. There we go. Some eggs. I do now have another female, which is yay. So now I have a female and a male. So eventually this should get another one pregnant. We have another female goat. We have another female that's pregnant. And that's that. And one male. I'm keeping him because he needs to impregnate the others. As soon as this one has a child, if it's a female, I'm keeping it. If it's a male, I'll wait until it's mature, and then I'll kill this male. In other words, I'll kill the oldest male of each group until I finally get all females. Effectively, I'm just being lazy and letting this run. Alright, let's hurry up and get some more building done. Over here. I think I'm gonna try and get the outline done, but I'm running out of time. Actually, I basically am out of time. But I've talked about my ideas, my suggestions, my things that would improve the game, or I think would improve, but maybe not. Who knows? For now, this one, like I said, was just mostly a building episode where I just build. I think I'm gonna have to do a off-camera fill in. I'm gonna fill these all in because you literally don't need to see me running back and forth filling this all in again. But I will be planning out the walls with you guys. That way you can see my thought process on why I put the windows here and why I put them there and why I chose to put some things here and there. So for now, if you guys enjoyed listening to me talk while I build, hopefully you come back for more. If you didn't fall asleep, then I'm surprised. Most of the time people tend to fall asleep because I tend to sound boring or all that fun stuff. Who knows? But anyways, if you want to see more of this series, make sure to check out the in-screen credits as I will be doing more. Eventually, I'll get everything I think I need to show for the end game, and I'll move on to another game. At that point, I kind of suspect half of you to disappear, potentially, because, I mean, I'm showing tips, tricks, helpful hints, and other fun stuff, and that may not always, you may not like the other games. Anyways, if you want to see other games I play, make sure to check out my channel. I do play other games in the process, and I do enjoy doing all kinds of other fun stuff too. Anyways, I'm going to get ready for the next episode, and if you guys want to be added on to the in-screen credits like these people, make sure to publicly subscribe. After so many amount of time, I'll add you on. If you leave before I reach 1,000 though, I'll remove you off. Bye bye.